Born in Cincinnati, Ohio, John Gerring and his family moved to High Point, North Carolina. His father was the head professional at the local municipal course, Blair Park. Despite his father's connection to the game, Gerring's introduction to golf began as a caddy.
At my age, there were no golf carts, so everybody either carried their own bag or you would take a caddy. The thing that it taught me very early was my work ethic. You had a fee that you would be paid, then you were tipped. Lord help me, if you lost a lot of golf balls, the tip was not on the horizon.
From a humble background, John learned the value of hard work. As he continued to work as a caddy, he began quickly to excel at golf.
I wanted to get a college education. I was the oldest of 7 kids, and the educational part wasn't too bright in front of me. So I started playing sports, trying to win a scholarship. I started winning my age group. I started playing outside of High Point in some of the junior tournaments.
Gerring would win the North Carolina State High School Championship while qualifying for national events such as the U.S. Junior. He quickly caught the attention of Wake Forest.
Well, I had a chance to play for North Carolina. I didn't have an automobile. At Wake Forest, I just pick up my bag and walk to the golf course. So that really is what decided me to go to Wake Forest.
As a freshman, John was unable to compete because of NCAA guidelines. However, he was glad to have the year to get acquainted to the high level of competition at Wake Forest.
I remember one of the older players came up to me and said, "Just remember, everybody here has won their state championship, so you've got your work cut out for you." Well, I had that 1 year to sort of get acclimated. Plus that same year, Arnold Palmer came back. That was really helpful to play with an older person.
John quickly found his footing, becoming the university's top player in 1955, 56, and 57. After graduation, Gerring enlisted in the United States Army, serving at Fort Jackson and Fort Benning. After his service, he returned to competitive golf and was faced with an unexpected question.
I went and played in Tri-State Open after I got out. PGA Boatwright, who was very big with the USGA, was the executive director. He asked me amateur or pro, and I just blurted out pro. I played well. I was runner-up and won my first money.
That was the beginning of John Gerring's 65-year professional career that would take him across the country, creating lasting impressions.
After that, I was looking for a job as an assistant pro, and I ended up going to Biltmore Forest in Asheville. It was the first time I'd ever seen a golf cart. It was different. I learned one thing: being polite and courteous will get you a long ways.
John began working at East Lake Golf Club as the assistant to Georgia Golf Hall of Famer Harold Sargent.
Mr. Sargent was a very strict person as far as our operation was concerned. I had one goal the whole time I worked for him, and that was for him to tell me that I've done a good job. And I'll never forget, we left and came to Greenville. I got a package, and he gave my son $1,000 worth of savings bonds. On the correspondence, he said, "You did a good job."
After 4 years at East Lake, he would leave Georgia to spend time as the head professional at Greenville Country Club, Deerwood Country Club, and Holly Tree Country Club in Greenville. But he still had unfinished business in Georgia. John's next move was to return to the Peach State, where he would become the head professional at the Atlanta Country Club. In this position, he would assist with hosting the Atlanta Classic and forge relationships with 3 Georgia Golf Hall of Fame members.
I was trying to get ready for the PGA in '81, and he was always out on the practice tee, which was typical for John. He seemed like he was always available.
Great guy, real good to all the kids, all the little juniors. Told us a lot of stories, so I've been hearing John Gerring's stories for over 50, 60 years.
He also worked with fellow Georgia Golf Hall of Fame inductee Cindy Schreier at the Atlanta Country Club.
It's going to be fantastic to be able to share it with John. John Gerring was where I started. It was his dedication to helping me be better, 100%. He was all in.
During John Gerring's tenure at the Atlanta Country Club, he became the 13th person in the country to earn master professional status, and in 1981 was named the PGA Professional of the Year by the PGA of America, the highest honor bestowed to a PGA professional.
And it was meaningful for me. It's a great award.
After 15 years at Atlanta Country Club, John left the club to work at Sea Island Resort. Located in sunny, picturesque St. Simon's Island, the job was not all John imagined it would be.
It's quiet but very busy. I enjoyed it. It's a great resort. I was at a disadvantage. Being a process teacher, you have to be continually after the people all the time about what to do. And these people were coming in for 3 days and then leaving. That worked against my philosophy.
From Sea Island, he would spend 4 years at Bloomfield Country Club in Detroit, Michigan, but the thought of Georgia never left his mind. Peachtree Golf Club needed a new head professional, and the club's president was a familiar face for Gerring.
He always called himself a servant, and he was a servant to the membership in the club.
They're very small clubs. They're very traditional. They like to keep caddies employed. A little bit different than what you see elsewhere.
I'll never forget, he said, "I'm going to teach a lot here." And I said, "I don't think so." And he said, "Yeah, I am." And the next thing you know, he wrote a letter to every member and gave them a free lesson, either to the member or one of their family members. He did teach, I'll tell you that. He did a lot of teaching for free at first.
Gerring worked at Peachtree until he was offered a job he could not turn down.
I had a chance to go back to Biltmore Forest. And I said, what a story for me to end up going back to where you started.
After over 50 years in golf, Gerring decided it was time to take it easy, but not too easy. John continues to work at the Haas Family Teaching Center in Greenville, where he continues to influence the lives of juniors.
The juniors taught me more than I taught them. The learning process, how to make it stick. And I learned so much from the young people.
John Gerring is a member of the Carolinas and Wake Forest Halls of Fame. After a lifetime of teaching and helping others, John's legacy is cemented in the individuals he impacted with his contagious positivity.
John is what the Georgia GGHOF Hall of Fame is about. He has helped so many people to kind of achieve what they wanted to achieve.
He's a character, to say the least. Great guy and a real character, but a really solid person that loves and respects the game.
John Gerring is now in the Georgia Golf Hall of Fame, but don't expect him to talk much about it.
It's a great honor, but I wouldn't tell you that unless you had me pinned in this chair asking me a lot of questions. I don't know that I deserve it. There's a lot of golf professionals, amateurs, that are way ahead of me. And when I say I don't deserve it, I do feel lucky that whoever put my name up and however the process went, it was a total surprise. And I really appreciate it.